Good afternoon, everybody. It's Carrie and welcome back to another video. So this is for Vlogmas, of course, but I don't know where this is going. You see my dog's nose? You can hear his tail hitting the bag. I don't know exactly where this is going to go in Vlogmas, so I'm not going to say the day because who actually knows. But today I need to get 2 orders packed up and shipped off. And if you watched the previous vlog, I think the day 2 vlog, then I kind of went over that I got this cat custom finished. I'm having to tuck in a mysterious yarn tail that decided to peek out, but I finished up this cat custom. This is a custom by Hooked on Toast, or that's who the pattern is by. This is a memorial piece custom, I think. I would say a vast majority of the customs that I get that are of pets are memorial pieces. It's pretty rare that I'll get one that's like not a memorial piece. I definitely do get them, but I would say for like every one horse or animal that's like of a non-memorial piece, like it's like 1 out of like 5. Like the rest of them are typically memorial pieces. So this one, I have this little cat that needs to get shipped off. This is to someone actually local and everything. It just ended up being that pickup didn't really make sense, and this year in particular I have been a lot more of a stickler about local pickups. I used to drive much further away. Like I used to say I would drive within like 30 minutes and I would meet people at the weirdest places. But for the most part, especially this year, like in general, I've gotten to the point where you either pay shipping or you meet me at like this specific location, and I'm only gonna meet you at this specific location. First of all, it's a lot closer to my house. And usually when I'm doing these pickups, you know, I'm trying to fit them into the chaos that is my day. So I really can't like set aside, you know, 40 minutes to just go drive somewhere there and back and everything. So I try and keep it close. And then as well, it's in like a, I don't know, I feel like if I got grabbed or abducted, somebody would say something. There's been a few times that I've met people and like shopping like lots or whatever at like 9 p.m. at night, and looking back at it, I definitely could have been snatched. So I'm a much more like stickler about it. And so this one in particular, even though they are somebody from the state and everything, they didn't think they could get down, and I was like, well, that's fine, because honestly half the time if there are people who don't live like super close to me, I charge a flat rate shipping cost, just like I do on the yarn. I charge a flat rate shipping cost, so pretty much my flat rate shipping for plushies is $10. I only ship my plushies in boxes. I do not use poly mailers. I don't know, I just get worried about shipping plushies and poly mailers, but I only use boxes, and I feel like for the most part, most of the plushies end up being in that like $10 range. The only time I've had plushies be more expensive have been like the large plushies that I've shipped, you know, the things that are a couple feet tall or plushies that are really heavy. But in general, $10 is a pretty good range for me, so that's what I do for my flat rate shipping. And honestly, half the time I don't have people who really care about paying it because, well, first of all, the ease of just like not meeting someone someplace, because it's usually out of the way. And then two, like the drive, like by the time some people drive, the gas, it doesn't really make that much sense. Or like $10 is really nothing, which I agree. I'm kind of the type of person who's like, I'd rather just like pay you than meet you, because I don't have that hour. So this one, we're gonna get packed up today. It's actually in like pretty good shape. It doesn't really have any fuzzies, so we should be pretty good. I don't really think I need to lint roll it. I just have a few little like stray poly fill pieces. And then the other one that's going to be going out is this wolf. This is a Snuggle Beans crochet pattern. I mentioned to you guys and that one as well that like I wanted to look over the wolf and just make certain that it was in good condition, and from what I can see it's not really stained or anything. The hardest thing for me is white yarn can look dirty but not really be dirty. Like I think the moment you work with white yarn it kind of gets dirty. That's one of the reasons I despise working with that white yarn. And honestly, at this point, now that I've been doing markets longer, in particular this year with as many plushies as I've had get damaged this year, I now am bagging a lot of plushies. If it's a plushie that has like a lot of white, or probably like if I were to take this guy and remake him and take him to a market again, you know, I probably would bag him just because of the white and then being like on the displays and everything. I have just had in this year so many issues with plushies getting damaged by people at markets, whether it's like people spitting Coke all over my plushies, which I had earlier this year, or people picking up plushies and then throwing them on the ground. Not even like accidental things, just like full on throwing them at the ground. I have had so many problems with people damaging plushies this year. So I decided about like the middle end of this year that I was going to start bagging more things. So like Snuggle Beans Crochet, she has like a sheep or a lamb. I don't know which one it technically is. It looks the same to me. But she has that pattern and it has a lot of white yarn. And that thing lives in a bag now. My Georgia Bulldog that I made, because the Bulldog is white, that thing lives in a bag as well. I've just like really gotten to the point where, especially if it's big pieces, when small things get damaged, I do get annoyed, but it's not as bad as when big things get damaged. And the majority of the pieces that I've had damage have been my larger, more expensive items, just because those tend to be the things that people gravitate towards. If you guys have not seen my setup before for markets, I have a really big middle display and then I have the side tables. The side tables is where I keep my lower end items. So typically that's anywhere from like 10 to 30, 35. I keep them on the side tables. This year I got the centerpiece, and the whole point of the centerpiece was I was going to put all of my expensive items, so anything, you know, typically like over $40 or anything that has like the colorful eyes, I start to consider them a little bit more expensive because in general their price is always going to be more because it takes me time and money to paint the safety eyes. But I put those guys on the center like piece so that way I can sit right next to it, and when people come up to it and start grabbing things, I can tell them no. Like, I have never understood for as long as I've done markets how many parents just let their kids run wild, and kids don't always, or a decent amount of them, aren't super respectful towards your items. And so at least if the centerpiece is like right next to me, there's sometimes that I just tell them like, don't even touch anything on this because I know that like you're not going to be able to buy it. And usually when the little kids start snatching things and pulling things and grabbing things, and then if they get told no, then they just throw things on the ground. Ask me how I know. I get to experience it every market almost. So I did go through this guy. He seems to be like good. I'm not really noticing any big brown marks or anything. So I think he's gonna be good to go, which is great because then I don't have to make him, and this is the only one for the order. And I also love to see when the plushie that they pick out is like the same one as like I have it in stock that was on the website, if that makes sense, like the original one, because this guy has those really cool eyes, and I don't usually use these eyes that often. I tend to use a lot more glitter based. This is not so much glitter, but this is the one that I used for my photos, and this is the one they're gonna get. So I'm gonna basically just record me packing up these orders for you guys. You guys can see the process that I do to pack everything up and make sure it gets home safely. and I hope you guys enjoy. So I have these boxes right here. These are not the normal boxes I use. I honestly usually just like reuse boxes that I have laying around, but I purchased these boxes thinking that they would work for something with Knotty Pony, and they didn't. And so I was playing around with them. They end up fitting plushies decently. Like I wouldn't be able to put a bulky one, like my larger plushies like Night Fury probably wouldn't fit in here, but something like this size, I think I can kind of roll it over on its side and make it work, and I'd rather use these boxes than just keep them. So I'm going to show you guys what I basically use. When I have larger boxes, I usually put like packing peanuts, whatever I basically have leftover from buying ponies. It's an excuse to buy ponies, like I can reuse the materials. You know what I'm trying to say. But because I don't think I'm going to have as much space as I normally would, because this is going to be a tighter fit, I don't think I need to use as much. But I usually just use some type of tissue paper. I have this Christmas tissue paper that I'm going to use because I don't have any markets and I can't really use this any other time of the year. I have these plastic bags. I just get them off of Amazon. And honestly, these are the same plastic bags that I sometimes use when packaging up the yarn when I run out of the plastic bags from like when the yarn arrives. So I like to do these. Biggest thing for me is like if I can do this and if the box still gets wet, the plushie inside still stays safe. So I prefer to do that. And then each of my boxes has just my business card. This is the same business card that people see at my markets. So my business card, and then this is my care instruction card. Basically just tells you how to take care of the plushie. After doing markets for so long, I've had so many people ask me about like what to do, so I just ended up printing these out, designing them on Canva, and I include that so that way people know, because I've gotten some weird messages over the years about like, what do I do with my plushie? And the horror stories I could tell you guys of like people messaging me and being like, hey, my dog like ate the plushie and then threw it up. Can you fix it? And I'm like, no. So first one we're gonna pack is gonna be this wolf. I just always look over them. Like I said, this guy has been to so many like markets with me that, I mean, he's been pretty picked over. Yeah. My only thing is I don't mind lint rolling them. Like I will if I can tell it's like a really just like horrendous yarn that has so many fuzzies. But this guy doesn't, because I've had problems before with lint rollers. Like if it's like not a great skein of yarn, like some of the parfaits where I'll be like lint rolling and then it starts pulling up the yarn. So I try and not lint roll when I don't have to, just because I've had like the yarn pull up and it scares me, and then the yarn ends up looking like I don't know how to explain it, but like then you can just sit there and pull the yarn. I can't stand it. So he's all good. He's passed the inspection. So I'm just gonna get my bag right here. I'm gonna be laying him on the side. I think that's the best way to make him fit comfortably, so his ear can just fold over. So get him up in the bag, get it under, and then like I said, I'm gonna lay him on his side. Check it. Perfect. When I tried to do him before, because of the sploot, like the bottom feet kind of pushed his head up, so that works. Now this was a website order, so I do have the thing from the website, so I'm gonna put that in. Then card right there, and then some more tissue paper just to kind of cover him up, keep him warm, you know, during the trip. I feel like the problem is with Vlogmas, you guys are gonna see too much of my personality. Because like, I never try and hide myself on YouTube. I'm a pretty like candid person. Like, I'm not trying to please anybody. But I feel like the more you guys see of me these 25 days or 30 days, I might take it all the way to the end. I think you're gonna be like, wow, that girl's personality is actually kind of weird. So there's that. And I actually don't have my shipping stuff in here. Like my thermal printer, my, you know, everything is actually in my barn. So I'm not gonna be able to print his shipping label. But what I do for all my packages, and I'll do this as well. I don't know about right now. I don't know if I do it on camera, but I do this. I got these stamps made. I don't know if you can see. Oop, well, if I actually held it correctly. It just says Traveling Pony Studios. It's my logo. And I got them made, I believe, earlier this year. And this is just the ink I use. But I got them made earlier this year. And I wanted to do something to basically have the personalization touch. But like, I didn't want to spend money on custom like branding and stuff because it's freaking expensive. Like, oh, and I don't do enough online orders like I do for Knotty Pony where I could justify like spending a lot more money on some of the marketing things. If I started to get a lot of online orders, it would be something I considered, but I'm not at that point at all. And here's the dimensions for the boxes I'm using. But like I said, I'm not at that point for my actual personal business. I would like hope to be at some point, but I'm not. There's nothing wrong with that. I recognize that a lot of my faults with my business comes from me and marketing. Whenever people ask me about creating small businesses and wanting to do things and da-da-da-da-da, and in the same sentence when they tell me that they don't want to do social media and they don't want to do marketing, I always laugh because as like a small business, there is absolutely no way you can survive without doing social media and marketing. Like, there's no way unless you're trying to be at, you know, markets every single weekend doing physical markets. But at the same time, you have to realize, and I explain this to people all the time, your reach at a physical in-person market is going to be completely different to the amount of people you can reach and the diversity of people you can reach online. And the most important thing is if you ever want to just make like, even this as like a side business, start an Instagram. Do something to at least get your products out there. Even with my TikTok, my YouTube shorts, my Instagram, I never make anything complicated. Like when I do my TikTok shorts, I literally sit in my chair for I don't even know how long and just talk about the random things, or I just show off what I made that week. Like, I don't overcomplicate things, but it makes a huge difference at the end of the day. Like the amount of growth and amount of people who see my products, if I was not doing what I do, would be like non-existent. And it takes, I don't know, it doesn't take too long. I could be a lot better about, you know, doing things on a more regular basis, and I do try when I sit down and record to do like batch recordings, but it is difficult. And like right now I don't have a lot of things to record because I don't love to post all of my Christmas orders like openly on all of my social medias, like my Instagram, since that's my most heavily followed, or my Facebook, until after Christmas, of course, because these are usually surprises and sometimes people follow me. So I can't usually make TikToks and stuff out of that. So like this month is going to be slow for me for TikToks, and I can't really record right now for Knotty Pony the packing videos because I am trying to just pack so many, and when you have to record packing stuff, it does take a lot longer time. Like, you don't realize how much longer it adds to the whole thing, but it does. Getting different angles, making certain you're on camera, doing all that type stuff. All right, we are good to go. And usually for my plushies, like yeah, I would record this for TikTok, but girl, there ain't no way I'm gonna record this twice. Like, you crazy if you think I'm gonna put that effort in. I'm not recording this twice. And I figure since we are doing Vlogmas, you guys should get the priority for as long as I can commit to myself to do it. So I need to grab a card for this one. Same thing, instructions, business card. This one is not an online order. This was a Facebook order, so I don't have anything to print out for this guy. I'm gonna see if I pack him up, will he move? He's pretty, there's some dips on the side, but I think he's gonna be pretty in there. These boxes are perfect. So this is the dimension for like this size plushie. Perfect. They fit super snug. I'm not worried about like having to fill it to the brim and then moving around. They fit snugly in there, and it's definitely going to be a lot cheaper than me having to pay what I usually pay to ship larger boxes. Now that I am done packing everybody, I feel a little safer about touching ink. So I'll show you what I do. I'm not good at stamping, so figure out which side. I usually always do things on the right. I think it's because I'm right-handed. Then I just have my old sketchbook. Yeah, that's gonna be fine. I'm not trying to get this perfect. The person who does a really good job at stamping is my mother, because she cares a lot about details. I don't. So she usually stamps all my bags for my markets, and I call her the printing press because she just comes on here and does like so many of them in one go. So I'm gonna fold it so I can have something to push it against. I think it's not gonna be good, guys. Oh, that's pretty dang good for me. We're missing the middle, but nobody's perfect, am I right? And then I'm gonna put this little sticker. I don't know why people freak out over this sticker at markets, like little kids. Can't lie, I love cats, so understandable. And then I am going to just take this pen right here because I know I'm gonna put my thing here and just write cat. That way I know easily, because, you know, even though I haven't packed this, I could always like unpack it because I'm not going to tape it until I go over. So I can always just take another peek in there and check and make certain that the animal is correct. And then this is our splooting wolf. So right now I have 3 pending orders online, and I have, don't ask me how many other orders because I don't want to think about it. But I do have 3 pending online. One of them I'm waiting for the yarn, and that's that fox wolf. I think the yarn's going to be here Friday. I had to order it from Amazon because it was going to be the quickest way to get here. I wasn't going to trust Premier to actually deliver anything in a reasonable amount of time, even though I don't live that far away. Premier still takes forever to deliver to my house. So let me add the sticker. So I just ordered it off of Amazon. That won't take me too long. And then I only had 1 for the small guy. But all right, wolf. All right. Okay, everybody, we're back. I'm sitting down. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed that. It wasn't too exciting. Why you guys at a weird angle? I feel like you were kind of looking up my nose for a moment there. Sorry. But we are back. We're sitting down, and that's basically what I have to show you guys. I wanted to have like an easier day just because I have a lot of things coming up, and I didn't really vlog all day. I literally think the only thing I said on the vlog that I was maybe gonna record is this. I'll include the clip. So I couldn't really just post that. But we got 2 of the orders packed up, which is always great for me. I'm gonna get them shipped out tomorrow, and then I am going to be continuing tonight working on this dog. I have still 27 orders, I believe, pending for 23 orders pending for Knotty Pony. And a lot of them did, like, you know, come in yesterday with the end of the sale and everything, and I got a couple more today. So I am slowly getting caught up on Knotty Pony. A little slower this time than normal, but like I said in the other video, I had to kind of take a step back this time with Knotty Pony and just be like, you know, I have to be realistic and know that I have like 20 other things going on right now. So I had to set time aside to, you know, crochet, do other things than just pack Knotty Pony. When I don't have anything like to do and I get a ton of Knotty Pony orders, I do just like literally live in my office. But right now I can't live in my office. But I hope you guys still enjoyed this video. I hope you guys are enjoying Vlogmas. I love reading everyone's comments, but like I said, I'm a little bit worried that after Vlogmas, you guys are gonna be like, I never knew Carri had that personality. Because I read everyone's comments and y'all are like, oh, like I'm funny. And I'm like, well, thank God I'm not the only one who thinks that, because I mean, I make myself laugh, but what can I say? But I hope you guys have a great day, and I'll see you tomorrow. Isn't that hopeful thinking? Wishful thinking? Oh my gosh. If I make it through this whole month without missing a day, I might as well quit. Toodaloo!